Metro Channel 7 presents the high school football game of the week. Tonight, from Memorial Stadium on the campus of A.L. Brown High School, it's the Wonders of Kannapolis hosting the Fred T. Foard Tigers. Tonight, it's the first round of the State 3A High School Football Playoffs. A pleasant good evening, everyone. Along with Woody Kane, I'm Randy Whitley, and it's into the second season. Throw all the records out the window. Everybody's undefeated at this stage.
They really are, Randy, but there's a little history between these two teams. Folks might remember 2 years ago, Fred T. Foard came up here, and Kannapolis won that game 42-18. They had a couple of sophomores on that team who were kind of feeling their way around then. David Kearns, the quarterback, and Jarrell Walton, the big fullback. Now both of those guys are seniors looking for a little revenge.
Of course, you look at ball control. That is obviously a strong suit of the Tigers.
It really is. They want to play smash mouth. They're going to run that double wing T look and try to pound away all night long and see if they can wear this Kannapolis defense down. On the other hand, the advantage the Wonders have is speed. They can run you down from anywhere if you try to get around the end zone them. And they've taken the ball away from their opponents, Randy, 33 times this year. So we expect that to be big tonight.
And of course, it gets even bigger in the playoffs because the competition a little bit keener, the games are closer. Special teams, how big a part is that tonight?
It really is going to be a big part of tonight's game because the kicker for Fred T. Foard has range in the 50-yard area. We saw him warming up on kickoffs, kicking it over 60 yards in the air, and they let him try one from 52 yards, a field goal a week ago. He really does have a strong leg. If it comes down to that, remember, Kannapolis' normal kicker, Rush Rollins, is out for the year with an injury.
Well, we get to be homers tonight. The fun part of the season is starting. It's the playoffs for 2000. Back with more pregame after you watch this. Welcome back. Our game of the week, Fred T. Foard and A.L. Brown, round one of the State 3A playoffs. We're in the Western bracket here. And, of course, second in the Western Foothills Conference. They'll come in as the 9th seed. We're talking about Fred T. Foard and Alan Gorey, who has been around and had a few playoff appearances with this team. Earlier, Steve Gant had a chance to talk with the young head coach.
Thanks, Randy. Coach Gorey, welcome to Kannapolis.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
I believe you was here about 2 years ago. We saw your team play a couple years ago.
Exactly, 2 years ago.
Coach, has anything changed? I know you've learned a lot. Have you made any changes as far as your style of coaching?
No, we still run the wing T offense, and we switch up a little things defensively to kind of fit our personnel. But we're basically the same team. We'll try to run the football majority of the time, and throwing's going to be optional tonight. Kannapolis has got some great DBs.
Yeah, Coach, you bring your team in here. You're 8-3. 11 weeks ago, would you have been satisfied for that, or is it what you expected?
Well, we're actually 7-3. We're very satisfied with the improvements that we made this year. We started out as a very young and inexperienced team at the beginning of the season, and the majority of our losses came at the beginning of the season. The kids have done a great job and really worked all year and has gotten better each and every week. We finished the season with 3 wins, and we feel very good about where we're at right now.
Yeah, word has it that your team has come into itself, that you've peaked. This is a time of season to peak.
Yeah, it is. We're playing really good defense, doing some good things offensively. We really started out slow offensively, but have come around here late, and for us to peak at this time would be a great accomplishment.
Coach, we saw some of your numbers. Look like your offensive team is on a roll, but I got to say something about that kicker. That kicker's pretty impressive. I saw him warm up a while ago. Got a pretty good leg on him.
Yeah, James is a great kid. He came out 3 years ago, didn't know the field goal tee from the place kicking tee, but has done a great job. Works very hard at it, and has a very strong leg. We're just hoping somebody can take a look at him, and he'll be able to kick next year for somebody.
There you go, Coach. This time of season, everybody comes in here undefeated. It's a brand new season. What can we expect tonight? Do you look for a shootout, or do you look for something tight?
Well, it's hard to tell. Kannapolis is definitely a very strong team. A lot of tradition behind them. Coach Massey's done a great job this year. And it's hard to tell. They've put some points on the board. We have too, but at times we've struggled offensively, so we really don't know. We're going to come out and try to stick around and see what happens at the end of the game.
There you go, Coach. Again, welcome to Kannapolis. Good luck to you, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Randy, back to you.
Of course, they are the number 9 seed. They'll meet A.L. Brown, which is number 8 seeded in the West, finishing second out of the South Piedmont Conference, coming in with a 10-1 overall mark. And he talked about head coach Ron Massey in his first year. Well, Kannapolis has had a history of being in the playoffs. 17 appearances now, 27 wins and 15 losses. And why does Coach Massey have to think about his wonders as they go into their first playoff game with him as the head man?
Thanks again, Randy. Coach Massey had a great season. You can throw all the records out the window. Everybody's undefeated at this time of the year.
Yeah, it's a fun time right here. This is what you work for, and it ought to be fun. Fun for the kids, fun for the coach. Pressure's off. You made the playoffs. Now, let's go out there and win a few games and see what happens.
Coach, have you seen anybody, or what do you know about Fred T. Foard, and who did they compare to that we would have seen?
Well, they're offensively a wing T team, which we've seen a couple wing Ts early in the season. In Statesville and Sun Valley was a wing T team, and great running back at fullback. Walton is, capable of controlling a football game back there, actually, and we got to stop him. And they've got some quick kids at the slots that we've got to maintain. Defensively, the scary part is that they have scored a lot of points blocking kicks and picking up fumbles, and they put pressure on you. And we can't get rattled. We've got to maintain our composure and not let them dictate what we want to do. We've got to be able to run the football against that pressure and hopefully loosen them up. And I would tell our kids, just be patient when we get to second level. There's not many people left if you ever get there. So when we get there, we know we've got a chance.
Coach, they got a kicker, a place kicker, field goal kicker that pretty good leg on him.
Yeah, talking with Coach early in the week, he told me he was going to nominate him for the East-West game, and I watched him on table a bit, and they tell me out here he's just booming it. So, I tell you, that's scary because, that's a big part of it when it gets down into the playoffs, that kicking game. And if you got somebody who can poke it through when you get on your side of the 50 and give you at least a chance at it, makes a big difference.
Coach, I asked Alan this, and I'm going to ask you, what do you expect? Do you expect a high-scoring shootout, or do you expect a defensive struggle?
Well, I don't know. I don't know that you ever can determine that. I think, I'm sure for them, they would rather it be a low-scoring contest. For us, obviously we want to move the chains, and we're a big play team. We feel like we can score from anywhere on the field. So we're not a grind them out, smash mouth, run it down your throat type team. But it ought to be interesting. I think it's two good football teams. They come out of a good conference up there, and I hope our kids are ready to play and fill the stands up, and we have a great game.
There you go. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, Randy, back to you.
Okay, there's the pulse of the coaches. We've got more pregame when our Metro 7 coverage continues, but first let's take a look at some of the keys to this game, Woody.
Well, one of the things that we really think is going to be important is scoring early, because Fred T. Foard likes to play that smash mouth style of game. If they can get up on Kannapolis and keep the ball for long stretches, they may be able to frustrate the Wonders. Consequently, on the other side, if Kannapolis can score early, they may be able to force Fred T. Foard into a passing game, which they don't like. You heard the coach talking about that a moment ago. Maintaining the lanes is going to be a big key as well. You heard him talking about the running the wing T offense. It'll be important for Kannapolis to stay in their lanes defensively, particularly up the middle. A smash mouth team might give a smaller Kannapolis team trouble. On the other hand, Kannapolis has to keep Fred T. Foard from getting in their lanes. They like to use a lot of misdirection to try to confuse them and use that speed. And lastly, turnover is going to be a huge key tonight. Kannapolis is averaging taking it away from their opponents 3 times per game. Last week, the last game of the regular season, Fred T. Foard took it away 3 times and blew out South Caldwell 44-12. But for the year, they're only +1 in turnover margin, so they may cough it up a little bit themselves. You heard the coach talking about they've taken it away and produced something on defense from doing that a lot of times this year.
The Wonders have won 4 coming into tonight's game, 4 straight we should say, and Fred T. Foard has won 3 straight. Back with the coin toss and the kickoff in just a minute. Back to Memorial Stadium, and referee Jimmy Mask will introduce the captains and have the coin toss.
With a pass to Millepar.
Captain Walton, Captain Kearns, and Captain Thompson.
Gentlemen, we have Captain Lee,
Captain Davis, Captain Lisman, and Captain Basinger. Shake hands, please.
And the future to fulfill.
The other officials for tonight's game. Mr. Wright will be your linesman. Mr. Shue will be your umpire. Mr. Barnhart will be your line judge. Mr. Rainey will be your back judge. On your penalties and your measurements, I want your talking captain to come forward. Let me explain your option to you. Make sure you understand your option before you make it joint. If you do not understand it, ask me to repeat it. I'll be glad to repeat it. White, you're busy. You have the choice of the point. While it's in the air, I'll ask the umpire to step in and take your call. In case I should drop it, we'll flip it again. Which one of you gentlemen will call? You call it. Tails. Because the tails, it is a tail. You want the choice, you want to defer. Your choice, you want to receive. Which end you want to defend? Pardon me? Away from the scoreboard. All right, away from you going to defend the scoreboard or away from the scoreboard? Defend the scoreboard. Put your backs over here. Green, your backs over here. White wins the toss. Defers. Green will receive. Give us a good ball game, gentlemen.
Okay, we're just a minute away from the kickoff. Let's take a look at those probable lineups here. We'll have those momentarily for you. As the
Well, one of the things we're going to get to look at early on, Randy, we've talked about the kicker, James Raven, number 81 for Fred T. Foard. He can really boom. And, of course, now that we say that, he'll probably squib kick the first one just to spite us. But he really has a strong, strong kicking leg, and he should be able to boot it close to the end zone or even into the end zone much of the time tonight. And there he is.
Yeah, field position, field position. You got to believe that's like having a 12 men on the field when you get inside your opponent's 40-yard line and know you got a chance, depending on a lot of things. Kicking a 50-yard field goal is no easy task, but in high school particularly.
But even on the kickoffs, it's key that if you can keep the other team backed up. There's Ron Massey up top. We documented a couple of weeks ago that he's doing that this part of the season.
And we saved him a cup of coffee up there in that concession area.
That almost looks like one of those Kilroy was here kind of things. And if he put his hands over the edge there, it would.
It'll be number 5, Jason Brown, and number 16, Chris Carter, the deep backs. They'll be the return guys.
Now, Kannapolis is gathering up here like they're trying to be concerned about the onside kick or a squib kick. They're all bunched up. Look at that. Just a little bit to the right there. They've got almost everybody up in that little grouping there.
Well, we watched.
Now they're going to break out of it.
James Raven, and he'll kick it side wider. He's got great control with his football, and obviously going through the things that kickers do there, making sure the steps are right. And we're about ready for round 1 of the state playoffs. The 6'3", 185-pound senior James Raven ready to kick this one underway. And he will kick it deep. It'll be Carter, though, fielding at the 3. Looking for the wedge, and it opens up for him nicely. He's up the middle. One man to beat, and the guy, Raven, who kicked off, saved it from going for a touchdown out to the 44-yard line.
Well, that's the one thing about those deep kickoffs, Randy. Kannapolis has such speed, it gives them a chance to set up that return.
Now we'll look at some positions for you here as we check out the lineups. The Wonder offense onto the field for the first time tonight. It'll be Josh Lee, who had an exceptional game in the Bell game last week, as did really all the Wonders. Were clicking on all the cylinders here. The single setback, and they'll go right up the gut. Dale King busts the middle for about 3, maybe 4, out to the 48-yard line before Evans was there, who's playing defense, made the tackle.
And there you see the offensive line for the Wonders: Barrier, Tuttle, Crosby, Sean Davis, and Overcash. And then Josh Lee with a huge game a week ago, Carter, Caldwell, Anthony, Allison, and Abercrombie.
So Kannapolis sets it up. They will have 2nd down and 7. Just over the 47-yard line. Out of the eye. Carter skirts the end. He's got the midfield line, and he's got the first down near the Foard 45-yard line.
And Carter looked like he was kind of surprised at how much room was there. Let's take a look now, if we can, at the Foard defense. Matthews, Yahiku, Shuford, and Evans up front of that five-man set there. Martin, White, McCorkle, Proctor, Lee, and Ward, the secondary and linebacking core. Nice block on that play by King to seal off that right side to let Carter turn the corner.
Quick count, lead of the air. On the slant, Allison, he's got the 40 down to about the 35-yard line near another first down. The Wonders leading ball carrier had 15 catches coming into tonight's game. Yahiku made the tackle.
And what a nice little move there by Allison. Watch him make this spin move to make a guy miss. Watch this. See you.
Oh, man. Yeah, but there's two other guys in the way.
And one of them was a big old defensive lineman. Yahiku weighs in at about 220 pounds.
Well, Wonders a little short of the first down. This is a little luxury call. Second and less than a yard. They fake the blitz. Now Lee back to pass again. Over the middle, wide open, complete. Inside the 20, Wonder first down as Maurice Edwards hauls it in. That is Edwards' 6th catch on the year, and he makes something happen, gaining usually 18 and a half yards every time he touches the ball.
And you mentioned, Randy, the guy faking the blitz. Where he ran away from is where Kannapolis threw the ball. That is where that linebacker would normally have been in that neck of the woods had he not come up on that blitz fake.
Lee, outstanding in the passing department this season, Woody. Almost 900 yards and better than 50% completion ratio.
Yeah, I was going to say, and very accurate. Kannapolis still running players in and out.
First down and 10, just inside the 20. Lee looks to the open hole. He's got some room inside the 10, down to the 5. They blitzed, they gambled, they lost, and Lee saw it and took advantage of it.
You're exactly right, Randy. He read it. The problem was they all came up the middle, and Josh saw it and goes right to the outside. And meanwhile, those guys are 5 yards back up the field, still knocking each other around, and Josh took off.
A helpless feeling if you're a defensive back out there and you got a 215-pound quarterback coming at you full speed in the open field.
He was so effective with his runs a week ago in the Bell game.
Wonders first and goal at the 5. And they'll toss it. Here comes Carter, juking, jiving, down to the 1. Flag is down. Carter's in the end zone, but that one might come back.
I think you're probably right. Typically, you're going to see a hold in that area when they throw the flag.
And Woody is right. That'll be some big yardage assessed against Kannapolis. The Wonders really almost played a flawless game last week, except for a few minor penalties. They just had everything going, especially when they got inside the 20.
Well, and again, we talked about turnovers, and that's what Kannapolis has really done well this year, Randy. I mean, if you can average taking it away from your opponent 3 times a game, I mean, that's a tremendous advantage.
Move it back to the 13-yard line. It'll still be first down. Lee options out. Caldwell, who's checked in, trying to sidestep. He gets out of a tackle. He's down to the 10, down to the 9-yard line. Second effort got into the game. Finally stocked up by Junior Lee.
Josh Lee, Junior Lee, we got a bunch of Jay Lees in this thing.
Bruce Lee might be coming out at halftime for a performance, you know.
What a good job to run through that initial tackle, though, to pick up some nice yardage.
Down to the 10, they'll spot his knee down, so it's second and goal at the 10. Caldwell with almost 700 yards during the regular season. Lee out on the flat, got Carter. He's inside the 5, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Wonders, and this time no flags are down, so the score will hold.
What speed, Randy. When he caught that ball, he almost froze for a beat, looked upfield, and then he was absolutely gone. 3 for 3 passing for Josh Lee on that drive, and I'm telling you what, speed kills.
Touchdown pass number 10 on the year for Lee, and touchdown receiving pass for Carter. That is his 4th touchdown catch. Now David Henry on to try the extra point. Kick is up, it's low, but it is through across the crossbar. It ain't pretty, but it counts. 8:35 to go. Wonders have drawn first blood here in the playoff game number 1 of the 2000 season. chew up 3.5 minutes, 7 plays, and 55 yards on the opening drive of the game. And now they'll kick it back to Fred T. Foard as Cassidy McCorkle is the deep back. It will be one of the up guys, though, at about the 14-yard line. With the return, this is Ian Martin, and he's got some room around the left side. And finally, going to be ridden out of bounds by Charlie Fox. He was the safety guy back there, but hey, here come the Tigers roaring back.
Well, what a big return by both teams to start off their offensive possessions. And now let's get a look, if we can, at the starters offensively. Hawk, Thompson, McCall, Reed, and Matthews up front for the Tigers. Kearns, the senior. Walton, the senior. Penley, McCorkle, Seyfert, and Evans. And then we'll check out the defense after this.
As I said, smash mouth football you're about to see here with a wing T formation. The majority of the time. And it will be stuffed into the gun of Lamont Schufer trying to skirt the end. He's ridden out of bounds at about the 40, maybe the 39-yard line over there.
Well, they got some good size in that backfield, Randy. Schufer at 180 pounds. Walton about 225. McCoy, Turner, Basinger headed to the Shrine Bowl, and Chad Keller along the front. McClure, White, Lipsum, Gibson, Collins, and Fox and Brown. And that group can take it away from you. As we've mentioned, Collins has, 9 interceptions, and Fox has 5.
Got a lot of picks, for sure. 2nd down and 8. Flags are down. Looked like somebody moved. I think the Wonders may have been offsides. Got into that neutral zone, trying to get back, but
they don't let you do that in high school, no.
Encroachment will be the call. That'll cost the Wonders 5, so we'll bring up 2nd down and 3.
Well, now wait a minute. The marker guy is going the wrong way over there. Now they got him turned around. he was headed to make it 2nd and about 15, and they said, "Whoa, turn around and come back here."
Well, it's a full moon tonight. It's been election week. Crazy things have happened, huh?
And there you get a good look at Coach Alan Gorey on the sidelines.
Move it to the 33-yard line of the Wonders. 7-0. Kannapolis out of the gates quickly, but here come the Tigers. Fred T. Foard. Work it from the eye with a wing on the right side. Now it will be Schuford around the corner. He's got the 1st down and carries folks out of bounds. They never did get him off his feet, but Chris Gibson pushed him out of bounds, but not before he gets down to about the 24-yard line.
A bunch of big, strong backs in that backfield, Randy. They know their system well. Kannapolis is going to try to put as many guys in the box as they can to stuff it. And if Fred T. Foard can stay close, they won't worry about breaking off huge chunks of yardage. What they want to try to do is just bang away and see if they can wear you out by the end of the game.
Shorten the game if you definitely shorten the game. Ball control, time of possession.
All right, you got to think Walton's going to get it this time.
1st down and 10 at the 24. And it will be Walton up the middle, hit and carries folks for a couple of yards. He'll get 5 out of that one.
Well, he looks like he remembers 2 years ago, doesn't he? He was a load in that game as a sophomore, and boy, you can just. I was looking at the tape of that game a couple of years ago, and you could just see the difference in size and strength on that young man from a couple of years ago.
5'10", 220 pounds. Not really an ounce of fat on the young man, the senior. 6 minutes and 45 seconds to go with the 1st period. Now the officials will stop the clock momentarily.
Usually that means somebody's got an equipment problem.
Send them back to the huddle.
All right.
Now they reset the huddle clock, so that's to the advantage of Fred T. Foard.
Well, I don't know what that was all about, but at any rate, we're ready to go.
Maybe the officials is counting numbers, counting people out there. I don't know. They go with a handoff right straight up the gut, and they may have been a fumble, Woody. The ball, there's a battle for it up there, and Kannapolis says they've got the football, and they do.
I think Lee Basinger was in on that, making one of the initial hits. He didn't come up with the ball, but we talked about turnovers being a key, and right away, as Foard had a great return on the kick, and then a nice drive going, they cough it up.
Schuford coughed the football up, so maybe not a clean exchange, or somebody just knocked it out after they hit the right thing. But the Wonders, with that takeover-turnover ratio that you were talking about, very opportunistic there, a big break.
And what we saw in the Bell game a week ago, Randy, was when they got the turnover, turnovers, they were able to capitalize and put points on the board.
They'll set it up at their own 17-yard line. And they'll go King up the middle. He'll get out across the 20 to the 23-yard line. They got about 5-6 yards that time.
Let's take a look at that fumble again to see if we can pick up what happened here. There's Shuford, and I think they just pulled it out. It looked like they just stripped it from him.
He had Levine Basinger on top of him, and it looked like the ball was gone before he was on the ground.
I couldn't tell. It looked like maybe Lipscomb was the guy who pulled it loose, but it was hard to tell.
Wonders 2nd and 4 at their own 23. They fake the big toss and go to Carter on the crossbuck, and he's got some room. Breaks the tackle. He's in a foot race, and he's winning it right now. Chris Carter, touchdown Wonders.
Man, is that kid lickety-split or what? Huh?
That is his 13th touchdown rushing on the season, and he takes it 77 yards for a touchdown.
Saw this play so many times a week ago with Concord, Randy. They fake the pitch going left, come back right with Carter, and when they fake that pitch, when we, after this extra point, get a chance to look at the replay, you'll see the whole Tiger defense flow over to that left side of the Kannapolis offense, and there's nobody home.
Charlie Fox, the junior, to hold for number 27, David Henry, who was a senior, and Henry is 2 for 2 in the extra point department. 5 minutes, 35 seconds to go. Wonders take advantage of a turnover and convert it into points. They lead it 14-0. Big 77-yard touchdown run for Chris Carter, and the Wonders are out front 14-0. And Lightning has struck quickly here. They brought their offensive scheme to, they're serious about this game tonight, it looks like.
That 13th touchdown for Carter, and that puts him over 900 yards for the season.
Deep back to about the 4-yard line. Here's a guy who almost broke it last time, but he didn't this time. Ian Martin on the ground, number 25, down at around the 25. On the coverage for the Wonders, looked like Emmanuel Pinkett, the first guy down there.
And he must be a call-up because I don't recognize that name from a week ago.
I haven't seen that one. No, you're exactly right.
And now, all of a sudden, Coach Gorey's having visions of 1998. Kannapolis won 42-18, and this is exactly what we talked about. Fred T. Foard does not like to pass the ball. They can't strike quickly, but right now they need to score to keep this game close.
Certainly did not want to get behind the 8 ball this early. And Shuford going nowhere. Wonders stack it up. Basinger there. Take your pick of poison. 79 coming out of the pile. Chad Keller, who had a great game last week. Been steady all season long for the Wonder D. No gain on the play, right at the 24, so 2nd and 10 we'll call it. There you see the time. That's in the first period. And they will give it to Shuford again around the left side, and he's got a little bit better room and may have the first down, depending on where he went out of bounds. And a little bit of extracurricular talking there. Chris Gibson knocking him out of bounds, and I don't think Shuford much cared for it. We get a chance to see it.
He'll take Gibson for a ride at the end of this play, and yeah, he was kind of dragging him around by the shirt there, and Shuford hopped up, and you're right, didn't like it a bit, but that's the basic play you'll see all night long from this Tiger offense. They want to try and bang away, and they did a great job to seal up that left side there, Randy, and let him turn the corner and lower his shoulders.
Pick up of 11. It'll give them a first down at their own 35-yard line. David Kearns with a long count. Walton bangs the middle, and another big guy, and now help arrives. It looked like number 6, Jarrell McCray, got him first, but you saw the strength of number 45's legs. He just kept churning.
And Jarrell McCray's a pretty big guy, too, and you don't see that often. Now, watch and see if one of his own guys comes up and helps him. No, that was one of the Kannapolis players.
He pushed him about 3 yards.
He was just trying to get on the hit, but ended up making the pile fall the wrong way.
They gained actually 4 yards with the help of the Wonder defense. Out to the 39-yard line. And it will be Martin. Slips a tackle down the sidelines, out of bounds. First down again near midfield for the Fred T. Foard Tigers.
Well, that's about, what, the 4th or 5th time they've run that play, Randy. It's been effective just about every time. They really do a fine job of executing.
Coach Gorey taking the opportunity. Well, I don't have to have my quarterback run over here as far. He's already here.
And plus, remember, he's got a senior quarterback out there in David Kearns, who started 12 games as a sophomore, so he's got some big-time experience under his belt.
1st and 10 at midfield. Martin again trying the same play, cuts it upfield. This time he's met by a wall of green shirts led by Lee Basinger.
Clifford White, number 34, broke through that time, Randy, and helped disrupt that play a little bit. He didn't make the tackle, but he kind of got it off kilter. Watch 34. See that?
Oh, yeah. That's half a tackle.
All he had to do was make him take a couple of extra steps, and then help got there. And one of the players is hurt on the far side. Can't tell if it's a Kannapolis player or a Foard player.
We have a timeout on the field. 3:58 remaining. First period. Wonders lead at 14-0. Welcome back. Randy Whitley along with Woody Caney and the entire Metro 7 production staff. And that cheerleader for the Wonders had a lot to cheer about here early. We played a little over 8 minutes of this game, and her team is up 14-0. Right now, 2nd and 9 for the Tigers at the Wonder 49. And here we go, and nothing that time for Cassidy McCorkle. Wonders were waiting. Lipscomb, along with number 39, Prince McCoy, and looked like Edwards there as well.
Prince not a big guy at 5'8", but right there, Lipscomb made the stop, and Prince McCoy helped, and also getting in on the end of that play to help out was Fernando You Look Marvelous Edwards.
And I wonder, why would you want to run back into the defense?
Well, you got to do something to keep them honest, Randy. They've been going left, left, left virtually the whole game, and they figured they would get Kannapolis kind of leaning that way and come back against them and catch them napping, but it didn't work.
3rd down. To the air is Kearns. Throwing, and it's caught. And this one might be, nope, out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Everybody going for the ball. That's the first bunch of folks. And then making the catch was McCorkle.
And Randy, watch this. The Kannapolis defensive backs are there, but they jump too soon. They're in good position, but watch when they jump. They're all there, and they got tangled up and jumped a little too soon and couldn't make the play. And McCorkle almost looked surprised to find the ball in his grasp.
Charlie Fox kept him out of the end zone. So on 3rd and long, the team that doesn't like to pass makes something good happen. They've got it 1st down and 10 at the Wonder 12-yard line. And it'll be Martin trying to skirt the left end, and the Wonders were waiting that time. About 6-7 shirts over there. Look like Basinger.
Well, it's getting to the point now where the Wonders have diagnosed that play. They've seen it enough now, Randy, to where when they see that set and see that look in the first couple steps, they don't try necessarily to fight through blocks as much as they run to a spot and try to meet the ball carrier there because they know where it's going.
With that play, you saw why Lee Basinger's going to the triangle.
Yeah, that was something, wasn't it?
He came up out of nowhere. And actually, they lost a yard way past out past the 13-yard line, so it's 2nd and 11. 2.5 minutes to go, first period. Here's Kearns on the roll. They're giving chase, standing up, and Lipscomb will get him from behind, but actually making the tackle, Chris Gibson.
And that really had everybody looking the wrong way. Fortunately, a couple of Kannapolis defenders stayed home, but not before a nice game. Look at this, how much room he's got over there, but good job by Gibson to stay home on defense and do his job. It's real tempting when you see that look to run over there and see if you can get a piece of that tackle on that left side, but Gibson did exactly what he was supposed to do.
And it's just outside the 6-yard line. 3rd down. Big play here. Kearns and company at the line. Back to the I formation. It'll be the fullback, Walton. Powers his way, and it'll be close, depending on the spot. Will they get another set of downs to work with?
Well, I think if they don't get it, they're probably going to go, Randy. But boy, is Walton strong or what?
He's definitely strong. And it will be enough for a first down. So now it will be first and goal at the 2-yard line.
Prototypical fullback, Randy. Gets the carry, feels contact, lowers his head, and keeps the legs working. If he gets squared up on you, you know, fullbacks like to deliver shots.
Yeah.
They don't care about getting hit. They don't care. They just as soon hit you.
It'll be Walton with the football. Stood up at the line of scrimmage. Penetration by the Wonders. They stop him for no gain. Maybe a loss that time. We get a chance to look at that one. You'll see the Wonders just shot in there down low and were able to stop him before it really got going.
But watch him look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys to get him down.
Like Prince McCoy met him first. Number 39, the nose tackle.
That's another guy who likes to hit people.
Second and goal. Just outside the 2. And stop short is Martin right at the 1-yard line. They keep the pile moving forward. They're still pushing and kicking and fighting down there.
Looked like Martin got a couple of good steps in, and then there was a heck of a collision in there, and everything just kind of stopped. Look how close he got. Watch this. Everything's fine, and then bang! Couldn't tell who that was on the bottom. Looked like maybe it was Fernando Edwards, but that was a pop.
Timeout has been called. We have 22 ticks to go here in the first period at Memorial Stadium. Wonders lead it 14-0. 22 seconds to go here in the first period. Fred T. Foard knocking on the door, and the pass got him down here. And now it's third down and goal just inside the 1-yard line.
And you got to think if they don't get it, Randy, they'll go again.
They line them up, everybody tight. Quarterback tries to keep it, and they will keep him out of the end zone. Just a...
Well, they've blown the whistle yet? Now they have.
That was a long... If you're a defensive guy holding him, it'll be fourth down.
That was a rugby scrum going on down there.
Yeah.
And, boy, it just looked like he was going to duck his head and follow a big lineman onto the end zone. Only problem was the Wonders had a different idea.
Well, the first quarter has come to an end, and to make matters worse, both teams have got to walk 100 yards. They're going all the way down to the other end. We'll be back in just a minute. As we come back, fourth down, and as was last week when the Wonders were up 14-0, big series here as Fred T. Foard trying to get on the board. Boy, it's a rugby match right now. Look at this. Fourth and about a foot. Quarterback keeper, and they get in. Not by much.
Man, I mean, there were 22 guys within an inch of each other right there, just ready to pound somebody.
Nothing fancy.
And they were all just lined up, ready to just dive into it.
Well, the Wonders relinquish a touchdown very begrudgingly.
Watch this. Look at all that. And what they do is they run up and kind of push and help and see if they can get the pile to fall their way.
Not supposed to do that, but
all they needed was about an inch.
James Raven, the senior kicker, trying to tack on the extra point. And it's up and almost over the scoreboard. 11:58 to go, first half. As the Tigers have drawn a little closer, it's now 14-7 Wonders. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, as it was the pass, as I said, that got the Tigers down into scoring position on a 3rd and long, and they...
Who would have thunk it?
Well, you know, the pass is a weapon indeed. You long on the sleep with that run around the end, run around the end, run around the end, and finally...
And then what? 3 plays netting about a foot?
Yeah. So if you like, I guess go back to the old days of the black and blue ball here. We're getting our share of it. This one high and at about the yard line. Will be a return. Carter dangerous on the return. Shakes a tackle. Skips out to about the 30, 31-yard line. And down first on the coverage looked to be Raymond Brady. And a pretty good return, though, by Carter, who's had a nice night so far.
And so far, Randy, the Tiger defense has not been able to slow down the Wonder offense, although a 77-yard run will help out in that category by Mr. Carter.
And he's in there. We'll set up as a wing. King is the single setback. Now they'll break Carter in motion.
They moved.
And all kinds of flags. Everybody saw that one.
On the right side of the Kannapolis line there, somebody flinched.
Referee Jimmy Mass makes the call, and Wonders will be assessed 5. Coach Massey.
He wasn't too happy about that, but right now he's got a touchdown lead and the ball.
And right now the Wonders are 2 for 2. The 2 possessions they've had, they've scored. Their offense is doing what they're supposed to do, right?
And they've had pretty good field position.
It'll be 1st and 15 at the 28. And they'll give it to King, the fullback. Shirt tackle, a nice one after about a yard gain. Travis Evans, not only is he a pretty tall young man, but he's got some long arms reaching out and grabbing him.
Well, I thought King was going to be able to get away from him, but Evans, pretty good grip there to grab a handful of that jersey and not let King get away.
Well, actually, they're not really going to give him anything. I thought he may have gotten a yard.
You know, Kannapolis has so many speed guys, Randy, and in that backfield, King is really the only basher type they've got. Of course, now they've called up a bunch of JV players, including our pal Rock.
Rock is on the roster. Here's the pass, wide open. It's a foot race again. Carter down the sidelines, turns it into overdrive, and will take it to the house.
Well, Randy, when you said it was a foot race, that was all you had to say, because he's winning those.
Olympic gold medal performance there.
And man, 3rd touchdown of the night for Carter.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Well, he's caught 2.
He even had time to take some of that steam off at the end. I mean, he outran him so bad he could slow down and profile a little bit there heading into the end zone.
Now the Wonder offense is 3 for 3 tonight. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Now Fox to hold for Henry again. And the kick is good. 11 minutes. 1 second to go in the first half. Wonders back on top by 14. Well, Wonders didn't take them but less than a minute to get back to that 14-point advantage with a 72-yard touchdown pass from Josh Lee to Carter, who was wide open. Woody, you and I would have looked good being that wide open out there.
They'd have caught us.
Well,
but Carter, with all these police officers right here, he's liable to get a speeding ticket before this one's over.
Good point. And the 11-yard line. Here's Martin, who's already had a good return tonight. Breaks out almost out to the 31-yard line. The coverage looked to be Danielle Brown. And he gives up a little limping there. I think Brown is one of those guys. He's a junior, maybe up from the JV squad.
Ian Martin limping a little bit, and he's been a big part of the offense so far, Randy. They don't want to see that at all.
Interesting fact, I said Kannapolis has had 3 possessions. They've taken care of it. They've only run 12 offensive plays here in the first half, and we still have almost 11 minutes to go.
Isn't that amazing? You scored on 25% of your plays. I mean, good gracious.
And 2 big long ones. Here's Kearns rolling, throwing over the middle. He's got his big fullback Walton for the first down out to the 45-yard line. Fox on the tackle for the Wonders defensively.
And when you get a guy like that out in the wide open spaces, he starts licking his chops, because all he wants to do then is find me somebody to hit. Watch this. And you know, the Wonder defense had to be going, my God, they're passing.
Well, Kearns has done a pretty good job tonight. They run to set up the pass, and it's been very effective when they put it in the air. Out of the I formation, they fake to the fullback, and Lipscomb says, "Come here, Mr. Kearns, we'll have none of that."
I think that might have been a busted play, Randy. It looked like Kearns kind of ducked his head there and said, "Uh-oh." He realized something didn't work right. Watch his reaction. See, he acted like he thought that that was supposed to be a handoff. I think he wanted Walton to take that one.
Durant Lipscomb, number 41, 5'11", 187-pound senior, but he plays like he's about 287. Quickness on the corner. Back to the 43-yard line, 2nd and 11 this time. Shuford swinging out across the 45 to about the 46 that time. Knocked on the ground by Drew Mahar. Drew, a reserve quarterback, only a sophomore. They weren't kidding with you. Everybody plays.
Well, that's been one of the big things we talked about. Fred T. Foard would want to try to wear Kannapolis down, but now they've had all the JV call-ups, and plus, as the year has gone on, they've gotten more and more into that platoon system to try to keep guys fresh, and it's paying off now.
3rd down and 8. Big play here for Fred T. Foard. Kearns with a play fake. Straight drop. Good time. Going deep, and Charlie Fox was the closest intended receiver, and he's the wonder defensive back, or the safety guy.
He looked like the receiver on that play, Randy. He was stride for stride looking over his shoulder for that one.
They're trying to make that Willie Mays catch.
I mean, usually you see a defensive back facing the ball trying to jump up in the air and knock it down, but he looked like he was the real receiver on that one, the way he was running.
First punt of the night by either team, as Kearns stays in to do the honors. You got Brown back deep. Jason Brown. There's Kearns standing at about the 35-yard line. Kannapolis peels for the return. This a line driver driving Brown back to about the 15-yard line, looking for the wall, and a lot of white shirts are down on the coverage, and they'll get him at the 21. Nice coverage that time. Adam McCall and Junior Lee on the punt return team. And they can fly.
Yeah, that was a line drive kick, Randy, but it seemed to kind of sail a little bit, and it drove Brown a few yards back, and it actually hung in the air for a long time for one that didn't get much height to it.
Here comes that potent Wonder offense onto the field with 8:50 to go in the first half.
Well, the Wonder offense has gone touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. The Tigers have gone fumble, touchdown, punt.
They'll swing Caldwell in motion. He'll get the pitch. And did not get the block, and there's a flag. Probably a hole, too, on the corner that time. It looked like Abercrombie out there blocking, and
you're exactly right.
The guilty party.
They're going to call a clip. He was blocking in the back because his man got by him, and he kept trying to make the block because he knew the play was coming that way. Watch this. Watch 82. See that? And just absolutely not giving up on that play was, it looked like Tyler Matthews, I think it was, or either he or Evans.
Caldwell saying, well, not only is the guy trying to bring me down, but here comes the official throwing a flag at me, and they haven't even blown the play dead yet. He's getting abused out there.
So they didn't take it.
A loss back to the 17-yard line. It would want the down. They try to get it to King this time, and you're going to wait and see if the fullback's going to pop out of that bunch of humanity down there. He gets out near the 20-yard line. Kenneth Yahiku, the 215-pound defensive lineman, making the tackle. So it sets up the Wonders with 3rd and long, something that the Tiger defense has been striving to do all night long.
And this is really the first time they've had Kannapolis in this situation, but the Wonders have been scoring from all over the field.
Nelson Caldwell in motion. Here's Lee. And the receiver wasn't looking.
He's hurt, Randy. He's limping out there.
Okay, Caldwell may have hurt something.
He didn't go to where he was supposed to go, and I don't know if he pulled something or what, but he's definitely limping off the field now. And Josh Lee threw it to a spot, and nobody was home. Because
Caldwell stopped. And now he's jogging off the field, so they'll check him out.
He's not taking any long steps, though.
So Michael Anthony on. First time we've seen the Wonder punter here tonight. The 180-pound senior has done a steady job this year, as it looks like Van Proctor is the return guy. Beautiful kick. Proctor at the 45-yard line gets a good block there and runs into some green shirts on the coverage at the 45 of Kannapolis, namely Duran Lipscomb.
That was a good block to get him some extra yardage, get him into Kannapolis territory there, Randy.
Clifford White also in on the coverage.
Well, with 7.5 to go, the Tigers can get right back in this game here. Nice field position. This is definitely their opportunity. If they can't take advantage of it here, Kannapolis may be off to the races.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, but 3 playing a team on the road. A team like Kannapolis is not an easy task.
They brought a nice little crowd here tonight, too.
From the Newton-Conover area. Here's Kearns on first down, going to the air. Pressure. He'll throw. It's complete. And juking and jiving, and it looks like the tight end, Travis Evans, has come up with a big catch. D'Angelo Collins on the tackle, but not before Evans got down to the 25-yard line.
And Collins did make the tackle, but it looks like he just gets blocked out completely by a big tight end, and that's what you want a guy to do with that size. Use his big body to his advantage and shield that receiver to make sure you're the only one who's going to get the ball. Actually, I think that may have been Abercrombie, wasn't it? Or check it. You're right. I'm looking at the wrong side. What am I doing? All right, Randy, I'll see you after halftime.
Hang on. Don't leave me here.
Oh!
Nowhere to go that time for Lamont Shupert, as Lee Basinger says, enough of this.
He sent him into the Fred T. Foard sideline there like a ball trying to knock over bowling pins. A bunch of guys hopping out of the way. Watch this.
Watch the speed with Basinger. Here he comes.
Bang. And then just drives him to the sidelines. That's a fine play, and that's just a little taste of why he's headed to the Shrine Bowl.
No doubt an all-conference selection. He smells blood, doesn't he?
When he did that time.
2nd 13. Kearns will give it to Walton. He rumbles off the right side. Basinger gets him low, and a couple other wonders team up, get him high, and drag him out of bounds. Collins over there, and also Clifford White for the Wonder defense at the 20, just outside the 20-yard line.
But see, the other thing, Randy, that these passes and these rolls by Kearns have done is it's kind of loosened things up in the middle now, because early Kannapolis was really drawing a bead on that. That time they had to respect that rollout, and it left a little room for them to operate in the middle.
We'll check down to 6:54 as the clock stops, as they got out of bounds here in the first half. You got to be thinking 54 got to be in 4-down territory. It's 3rd and 6, though. Kearns to Walton. He'll have the first down. He rumbles and ran over a couple of folks down to the 10-yard line.
And you can just sense the Wonders a little more spread out now, having to respect that pass because they've gotten burned on a couple, and they can't load up in the middle like they had been earlier in the game. And there was a great block on Duran Lipscomb out there by Brett Reed, the offensive lineman.
You can't take Lipscomb out of the play. You've done a night's work.
He's another guy who always seems to be around the ball.
It is 1st and goal, ball right at the 10-yard line. So they got to go the distance here. Walton hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for about a yard. In there initially, Prince McCoy also getting up off the stack. A few other Wonders.
Now let's see if they try to run that sweep back around to the left side. They've gotten away from that after the first quarter and been trying to pass and run it up the middle. Let's see if they try to come back to that play that was very effective for them in the first quarter. They haven't run it in so long now. Maybe they think the Wonders have forgotten about it.
Doubt it. I know the defensive guys are not going to let them forget about it. 2nd and goal to the 9. Here's Kearns to the air. Flushed out of the pocket. Throws upfield. And is it complete?
Nope, he dropped it. He got it
on the coverage.
He got it to him. He was looking down there for Evans, the tight end.
You know, everything they throw is to the sidelines.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the safer route. You don't want to throw over the middle. Remember the one they did try to throw over the middle? Charlie Fox almost picked it off.
Well, it's 3rd down and goal at the 9. They're definitely within field goal range of James Raven. It's a chip shot for him. He could probably doing it with his eyes closed, the way he was moving the...
But they definitely need the 6. This is a big play here.
Kern sets him down. Shuford, they try the reverse. The ball is loose, and that'll be a big loss. Shuford recovers all the way back at the 19-yard line. They were going with the reverse. You can see it, but those guys just couldn't come clean on the second exchange.
And now here comes Raven to try what looks like a 35-yard field goal.
Straight away for the soccer kicker. Here we see the fumble, almost fumble.
Yeah, I don't think Shuford ever really had a good handle on it. It wasn't where he was trying to hand it off to McCorkle. I don't think he ever really got it in possession well.
35-yard field goal attempt straight away. Good snap spot at home. The kick is up. It's definitely long enough, and she's good. 5:03 to go in the first half as Fred T. Foard gets 3. It's now a 21-10 Wonder lead. Seven steps, 4 steps over, and a little skip. We're ready to go here. James Raven.
All those kickers, man, they got to do it just so.
And he lines this one. Brown muffs it, picks it up at about the 7-yard line, coming out with it. And he's coming out with it. And he's coming out with it. And he continues to go. He's got to get by his own man. What a block there, and it will be a touchdown. 93 yards.
It didn't look like there was any room at all for him to get through the middle.
Man, oh man. Well, we said about special teams, Woody. Is that a classic example?
No question about it. He got a great block at the end by McCray to cover the last 20 yards or so, but most of that he just found the seam up the middle and showed us some speed.
Well, just when Fred T. Foard was feeling pretty good, they got some points on the board, had the defense panting a little bit there, had them back on their heels. Here we go. Now the extra point by Henry. It's partially tipped, but it does get across the crossbar. We'll keep it right here as the Wonders, you look at the time of possession, and you think, well, gosh, Fred T. Ford's doing what they want to do, but it won't take long to score like this.
Watch this again, though. Get it to the middle, and when that little bobble happens, you think that'll give the coverage time to get down. Couple of good blocks, changes his arms nicely with the ball, and then he just outruns everybody. Watch this block right there. McCray seals him off, and that will be pretty much that.
Van Proctor, number 12, had a hold of his britches, but just couldn't hang on. It was kind of like a sled there. He was being drugged there at about midfield. But 93 yards on the kickoff return by Jason Brown. And he needs some oxygen.
Jason will be telling his grandkids years from now, yeah, I once ran one back 115 yards.
Even if you count
Outran everybody. Ran over 3 men.
You count the end zone, it would be 109. Well, they can't even return it out of the end zone in high school.
Yeah, it'll get bigger.
Every man on the team had a chance at me, and they all missed.
Oh, yeah. It's like that fish you catch, and by the time a few years pass, it weighs 50 pounds.
Michael Anthony in Dover ends this one. It hits that was a great dig there at about the 11-yard line. He's going to come out with it. Decent return out to the 23-yard line.
Both
goes McCorkle.
Both teams have had some nice returns tonight, Randy. I think give credit on the tackle down there that time for A.L. Brown to Terry Collins, number 25. Take a look at it again. The return on the touchdown, and Jason Brown, he's waiting for his blocking to form up, and there he gets a good block. And now McCray is looking for somebody to hit. Come this way, come this way. He's directed traffic, and kabang.
He had about 4 guys. He said, well, let me see. How many times do you see somebody have trouble picking it up, and it's like the defense relaxes, things get out of kilter, and then you have the big play return right after you think, well, we got him where we want him now. They go right up the gut this time, out to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line as Walton's mountain there, and Dwayne McClure was home for the Wonders.
Now, wait a minute. We got 2 number 11s listed.
I think it's probably going to be McClure.
Yeah.
Because he's the starter at linebacker.
Oops.
That's 11A out there.
All right. I think the other one's Henson.
from the I formation. 2nd and 8. Oh, Shuford met and stopped, and then pursuit catches up. Hanging on and riding him down there was McClure. He took him for a ride. That's kind of like
They're both probably dizzy after all that.
It's kind of like that croc guy. You want to rub one of those crocodiles there. He don't much like it either.
Well, it's another 3rd and relatively long here for the Foard Tigers.
Kind of an in-between zone. The line to make is the 34. It's just shy of the 29. So you do the short pass, you give it to Walton. Let's see what happens. Kearns will send everybody in motion. Play fake, pressure backside. He's got to get rid of it. He can't. Wonders will sack him back at the 21-yard line. Basinger along with McClure and company. Boy, that was like letting bulls out, wasn't it?
It was. Lipscomb was there, and they had seen this play one too many times, and here they come. Right into your living room. Look at that. Our intern, Rob Stuck, probably got run over down there.
I asked him if he would just don't get clipped tonight, and he said, that's all right. You'll know when they drop that flag on the camera guy.
Oh, Rob will stand in there and
Yes,
take a
sir,
hit.
buddy.
Won't he take one for the team?
He is a gamer, hanging in there.
Well, guess who's going to get to run another kickback?
I don't know if he's going to get the ball. They're going to call a timeout and talk about it. 2:43 left, first half. Wonders up by 18 at 28-10. Wonder cheerleaders staying warm tonight. They've had plenty to cheer about. It's been special teams, it's been the passing game, it's been the running team. And it's now 4th down and punting situation here for the Fred T. Foard Tigers. And he gets it away, and Jason Brown is going to return it. He gets it on the run this time at the 45-yard line. Up the gut. Oh, flags are down. Brown says, darn it.
He didn't think he was quite down. In there on the stop, looked like it was Raymond Brady. But probably going to come back. The flag is almost at midfield, and it is a clip.
He just accelerated into that hole, man. It's just...
Well, once you get that first one, boy, you really want to go after another one. Then he'd be telling his kids, I had 300 yards of kickoff returns, one game.
And a playoff game, too.
He'll be building that story.
Well, there's Coach Massey, the head coach right on the left there in the corner. Of course, he and his coaching staff will, I know the Wonders have had execution great tonight, but they'll find something to talk to them about at halftime.
Oh, you have to. And look at this, from the shotgun.
Lee will give it to Caldwell, and he looks like he's back, and he's cuts to the outside, cuts to the inside, and then will go down at about the 45-yard line of Fred T. Foard.
We talked about platooning on defense, Randy, but the Wonders also do it on offense, and now they're in a hurry-up mode to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, keep the Foard defense on their heels. But they run, what, 4, maybe even 5 guys out of that backfield at you, and all of them can fly.
And now they will signal the ball. The more, of course, the clock stopped as they move the chains with the first down. Now Lee calling the play, and now a little bit of indecisiveness. There you see the senior leadership. He'll call a timeout with 2:07 left here in the first half. So Kannapolis up 28-10, Woody, and the Wonders know they can't really, you can't ever get too many points in the playoffs.
Exactly, and plus, it may be a situation where they want to do some things that they can use down the road if they get past this game. They may want to get into a situation where they run a hurry-up type offense. Check it out here. Caldwell back, zigzag, back the other way. Oh, he almost looked like he slipped on his own, didn't he?
Could be favoring something to the ankles. Well, depending on what happens, if we have a local team left next week, you can see it on Headliners next Wednesday night.
And the winner of this one meets the winner of Concord and South Point. And I know by the time fans watch this, they'll already know the score, but they announced that Concord was behind at the half, and the crowd went nuts. And I'm thinking, well, I know you guys don't like Concord, but if South Point wins, you got to go on the road next week. If Concord wins, you get to stay here.
But you don't want to play your arch rival.
No, you certainly don't.
You want to, but you don't want to. That's a shame that they would have to meet that early in the playoffs anyway. The Wonders after the timeout back onto the field on first down at the 45 and lead of the air. A little slant to Allison. He dropped the ball. And he was wanting to make the move and go to the end zone before he hauled it in.
And again, that time Ian Martin, the linebacker, Randy, snuck up toward the line of scrimmage, and they threw right to the spot he vacated. Just a little slant to Allison, who's also a speed burner.
Wonders have had a 77-yard touchdown run by Carter, a 72-yard touchdown pass from Lee to Carter, and a 93-yard kickoff return by Jason Brown. That's the big plays.
Is that all?
That's just the first half, folks. Out of the shotgun on 2nd and 10.
Oh, what a play.
Nice defensive play, slicing through Travis Evans that time, along with a few other white and blue.
Now, that was just a speed blitz, Randy, from way back, about 8 yards deep. Came charging up to the line of scrimmage and just blew that play up. It was Shuford, I believe, who came charging up through there and knocked one of the Wonder linemen down and just absolutely broke that play apart.
Now it's 3rd and 12. Lee with good time. Ball tipped a couple of receivers over there. Allison couldn't get it. Caldwell couldn't get it. And they're not sure who was supposed to get it there, but it's incomplete.
That almost looked like a couple of guys going for the rebound in basketball. They were tipping it around so much.
Like a volleyball. Back line to the front line, set it up for the spike, you know.
The Tigers came in, Randy, with that idea of blitzing Josh Lee up the middle, but they mistimed it a couple of times, and Lee read it and burned him a couple of times, and they had backed off from it until that last play.
Don't be surprised if Michael Anthony takes off with the football. We've seen some strange things here in the first half.
Yep.
On a full moon or pretty close to it. Yep, he's going to kick it. Inside the 10-yard line as Proctor fumbles it. The ball is still loose, and it's anybody's game. But Proctor lucky to get back on it inside the 5-yard line. It didn't take long for about 9,000 pounds of green shirt to get down there, did it?
Yeah, and he had a pretty good return a while ago, Randy, but just flat coughed that one up and was fortunate to get it back.
Boy, that was, you heard the scream.
He took a shot, too.
Yeah, he had about 5 guys on top of him. It's amazing how much attention that little pigskin draws. Wonders almost coming up with a big turnover there. So if you're Fred T. Foard, you try to just take a knee and go in and regroup here at halftime. We're about to see. It'll be Walt. He's going for it. Oh, man. Hard to bring down, indeed, out across the 20-yard line. Joel Walton, Charlie Fox with the tackle. And you got your safety guy making the tackles. That's not a good sign.
No, and that was the last man to beat as well. But now the time is going to become a factor here.
They'll move the sticks, and now the clock will start with 70 seconds left in the first half. Foard out to the 22-yard line. It'll be Walton trying to bang off the line of scrimmage, but getting a hold of him that time was Fernando Edwards, and wouldn't let go. Not sure how many timeouts that Foard has if they elect to use them.
I think they've only got one left. There you get a look at Coach Gorey, but time's ticking away here. Inside 40 seconds now, and they may just want to go and regroup. Remember, they deferred, so they'll get the ball first coming out of the locker room.
Kearns quickly to the line of scrimmage, and it will be Walton wrestled down at about the 25-yard line. That probably will be the final play here of the first half, unless the Tigers elect to get one off quick here, and I don't think so. They just want to go in and regroup. You got they got to be feeling pretty good because they have withstood a highlight reel here in the first half, and still, well, they're down by 18 points, but they've done what they want to do. It's just been the special teams and the big plays, and the Wonders lead it at the break, 28-10. We return to Memorial Stadium, ready for the second half kickoff. We have a few minutes. Let's take a look at some numbers, maybe from the first half. That's going to come up in just a couple of seconds here, but it's going to be kind of confusing. confusing. You know, it would look like Brown would be the team that should be behind when we look at those numbers, Woody.
Yeah, it'll look kind of unusual because a couple of times they scored so quickly, and then they had a big kick return that won't show up necessarily in the offensive statistics, but they did exactly what they needed to do in that first half. But right now is the time for Fred T. Foard to respond if they're going to stay in this game.
Anthony kicks it off, gets a good leg into this one, driving all the way back to the 2-yard line. Coming out with it is McCorkle, and he will be brought down from behind at about the 18-yard line. D'Angelo Collins on the coverage for the Wonders. Now some of those first half numbers, and there you see it.
Look at that, 9 first downs, rushing yardage, fairly comparable. But look at that, 237 total yards for Kannapolis. The 1 turnover was key for Fred T. Foard. And look at that, no penalties for the Tigers. Now the keys score early. Kannapolis did that, and we need to add and often to that as well. They maintained their lanes pretty well, and they generated the 1 turnover. That's why they've got an 18-point lead here as we start the second half.
Tigers set it up, Kearns and company at the 18-yard line. First down and 10, first play from scrimmage here in the second half, and nothing much there. They looked like they were trying to go right. It was stopped, and Josh Pendley had nowhere to go. Got about 2 out of it, but that one, Wonders sealed that one pretty good.
Pendley, Randy, didn't have a carry in the first half, but he put 186 yards on Mooresville, so you know he can get the job done.
I believe so. He is wearing number 40, and he is in there in this set. Just underway in the second half. It's second down and 8. Just over the 20. It'll be Pendley with the football. Sweep left, nothing doing. Coming through, untouched, basically. Number 34 for the Wonders. And that is Clifford White, one of those unsung guys on that defensive front.
Well, they had gone with the power game in the first half, and now they come back with Pendley, who's 5'9", 165 pounds, and try to go to the speed game, but Kannapolis has plenty of that, and Clifford White showed you there.
Now it sets up the Tigers forced with 3rd and long back at their 15-yard line. The line to make the 29-yard line. What the Wonder defense wants to get them in 3rd and long. They send McCorkle in motion. Kearns on the roll. Throwing, desperation. This one almost picked off. As a matter of fact, Fernando "You Look Marvelous" Edwards was waiting on it to come down. And I tell you what, that big linebacker, he said, "Oh, come on, baby."
Yeah, he was like wanting it to hurry, and they put just a massive rush here on Kearns. Watch this. He just has to hang it up as Lipscomb is right there in his face, and he just hangs it up, and playing back there at center field was Edwards, as you said, and the ball just wouldn't come down fast enough for him.
Punt formation, Jason Brown back up at about midfield. He's got a 93-yard kickoff return to his credit tonight. Going to get a chance, perhaps, to return this one. No, it's a short punt. It stops. I'd love to get my approach shots to the green to do that.
I was going to say, that thing stopped like a lawn dart when it came down. It didn't go anywhere.
Wonders, with their first offensive series here in the second half, will set up shop at their opponent's 42-yard line. You'll take that all day.
Well, there you get a look at Coach Massey on top of the press box here. And offensive efficiency was the name of the game for the Wonders in the first half. At one point they'd run 12 plays and scored on 3 of them.
Josh Lee with a single setback. That's Dale King behind him. And Lee comes down, options out. King with some wide open spaces. Shakes a tackle and is ridden out of bounds at the Tiger 40 or 36-yard line.
Pretty nice block in there as well by Chris Carter, who's not known for that at only 5'8" and 140 pounds, but he helped him get the corner on that play.
Well, Carter's done everything else well tonight. Why not block for your teammate? Carter with a 72-yard touchdown catch.
He probably ran about 3 miles in the first half there.
Yeah, a 77-yard touchdown run also. On second down. And here's Carter. Flags are down. Carter near the sticks at about the 34-yard line.
Oh, they were trying to hold Chris up and strip the ball from him that time. And let's see what the penalty's going to be all about. Likely against Kannapolis. And now another one goes in the air. Somebody may have been doing some jawing. Another flag was just thrown.
The illegal procedure against the Wonders is the preliminary call.
And now they'll ask about the second one. It's going to be on Fred T. Foard, I believe, because the official was standing right by their huddle and then suddenly threw the flag. Let's see.
That's a dead ball foul there.
Well, he's talking to the Foard captain, and he probably wouldn't be doing that if it was against them.
Illegal procedure against the Wonders. They're going to take that penalty. There's Coach Massey. And you see,
but there was a second flag now. Here it is. Unsportsmanlike against Foard. Okay.
Yeah, personal foul. So they step off the 5, and now we go back the other way, I guess.
And that'll wind up being a first down.
Yeah. They're discussing that with Josh Lee, the referee, Jimmy Maskey. They just want to make sure they get 5 this way and go back the other way.
For the life of me, I've never been able to understand why they don't just do the math. They got to walk it one way and walk it back the other. Just subtract.
That's for the football purist, you
There
understand.
you go. I know there's some technical reason why they don't, but it just would seem simpler to do the math.
Right, here comes the unsportsmanlike call, and that's a major.
And that was, Randy, that is just a devastating play. You get the penalty on Kannapolis, back them up into a 3rd and long, and instead you flap your gums right into the official's ear after you've already got the penalty in your pocket, and then you get one the other way.
And it's the first penalty against not Burns, but Fred T. Foard.
And now the officials are stopping play again. Don't know what the situation is here.
Yeah, if you're going to flap your jaws, just turn around and do it walking away from it. You know, maybe we'll see it there.
Especially after you've already gotten a penalty on your opponent.
Ball down to the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 Wonders. Just underway here in the second half. 9:36 to go in the 3rd quarter. And I believe we're ready for football here. Carter in motion. Little cross buck here, and here's Caldwell stopped at about the 25, maybe the 24. Looked like Travis Evans stayed home and was waiting on Caldwell. Everybody running these wingbacks around. It's a lot of motion.
A lot of teams are starting to go back to that kind of look now to give you a lot of different ideas on what you have to pay attention to as a defense.
So 2nd down coming up. Wonders break the huddle. Allison is the wide out at the bottom of your screen. Carter breaks in motion. Here's Lee. Breaks down. Lee, look at him. As he did the case last week, making something happen. Finally, the whistle blows.
And that was such a big key, again, Randy, is they tried to come up on that timing blitz and get there just as the ball was snapped, but they missed time to count and had to stop and wait. Josh Lee reads it and knows, I got to get out of here, and he turns a play that should have been a loss into a gain, and he did that time and again a week ago against Concord, and that was a huge key in that victory for Kannapolis.
Down to the 21-yard line, Fred T. Foard. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5. So the pass, well, the Wonders just a lot of stuff in their arsenal. We'll see what happens here. Single setback. They'll toss it to Carter out of the motion. He's got a block. Breaks a tackle. Inside the 10, inside the 5, and out of bounds. It'll be 1st and goal Wonders.
Well, he thumped his head when he fell down, and I hope he's not hurt.
And his teammates helping him up there.
But man, that kid can fly.
That was Alan Overcash, the offensive tackle. Big Alan, the senior over there, says, come on, I'll help you up. You give us 15-yard like that every time.
he may be a little bit woozy after that one, Randy, because his head really thumped on the ground. Watch at the end of this play, his head will snap back and really just crack the ground. Oh, he had to be a little bit woozy after that one.
Wonders 1st and goal. The pitch is to Caldwell. To the outside, he's got a clean road ahead. Touchdown Wonders.
I'm telling you, Randy, the Kannapolis line did such a good job on that play. They had 3 guys blocking 1 at the corner where Caldwell was trying to go.
And McCray just didn't have anybody to hit. Number 6 there. So Eric Caldwell with his 10th touchdown of the year and his 2nd tonight. And the Wonders with a little breathing room now, up their lead. David Henry, who has been perfect in his PAT attempts tonight, remains so. 7 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. 35-10, Wonders for their biggest lead of the night. Back at Memorial Stadium, Randy Whitley along with Woody Kane and the entire Metro 7 production staff. And 35-10. It looks like a big hill right now for the Fred T. Foard Tigers, Woody.
Yeah, it really does. And as we mentioned, you're getting to the point now where you're going to force them to throw, and that's not what they want to do.
Here's the kick, taken out about the 5-yard line. McCorkle spins out of one tackle, and then the pursuit catches up, leading the way Matt Jordan, who finally finished him there, along with Terry Collins. And
right now, you're in a situation where they take a look at the touchdown again. Look at this. 3 guys out there blocking 1 at the corner, and Caldwell, as you said, just had an easy path.
we have not seen Walton carry the football here in the second half. He's in the backfield right now, along with Lamont Shuford. They tried Pendley on that last series and just went backwards. It'll be Walton looking down the line, and just a strong young man out to the 32-yard line.
Part of the deal on that, Randy, a couple of times is the Wonder Pursuit has come around and caught him from the backside, and when they crash into him, the pile falls forward, and now the officials have stopped play, and it looks like they're checking something in the Tiger huddle over there. I don't know what the situation is, but they're looking over toward that way. Nobody called the timeout. The officials stopped the play. Oh, I see. It's one of the Tigers has a helmet problem there that they're trying to get squared away. It was Shuford, but he's got it back strapped on now and ready to go.
Second out at the 32-yard line. They need 6. Shuford beat Mr. Lipscomb. Durant is like he knew the play that time. Boy, he was there waiting on the corner.
He was.
Watching all the girls go by. Is that a song?
Yeah, but if you're a football player, you don't get to go by, so he took him down.
Durant's trying to pump that defense up. You know, you look at the time of possession, they stayed on the field quite a bit in the first half. And
well, he really did, because the Kannapolis offense was scoring so quickly. The defense spent an awful long time on the field in the first half.
So it was 3 and out last time. Now it's 3rd and 11. Let's see if Kearns has to put it up. And he's going to go straight trap. Boy, he's lucky he caught the ball. McClure blitzing through, untouched. They had their ears peeled back, Woody, as you always like to say.
You could see him, McClure, kind of dancing there, waiting for the snap, and he comes right up the middle. He was on the outside. Now he'll just come charging in untouched.
Not even a chance, even with a 3-step drop, just to set up and throw. And Kearns did the only thing he could do, take one for the team.
And Kannapolis, with a 25-point lead, Randy, has the advantage in that now they can afford to gamble.
High snap, Wonders coming in. I don't think they got it, but they did force a short punt. And it will go dead at about the 37-yard line.
Well, he did an amazing job, Randy, did Michael Probst, to get that one away, because there were green shirts all around. But the Wonders, I was going to say, defensively now, with a 25-point lead, can afford to be real aggressive and gamble and come after people. But this one on the punt was just caused by a high snap. Watch him have to go get it.
Oops.
Boy, it's amazing he got that one away.
And Lipscomb's turning around and says, you better not drop that flag. Here's Lee. Uh-oh, ball is loose. It's still loose, and the battle zone looks like the Tigers have recovered. They do at the 31-yard line. First turnover of the night for A.L. Brown, the first one we've seen in the last 2 weeks.
He just dropped it, Randy. I don't think anybody hit him. I just think he didn't secure it well before he got toward the line of scrimmage. It just popped loose before he was ever hit.
Yeah, here comes your defense back onto the field. They got a chance to turn around one good time and didn't even get a chance to get a drink of water, I don't believe, Woody.
Yeah, now they're right back at it. But again, they need to score quickly, Randy, and they really just haven't shown that kind of ability.
5:43 to go in the third period. Time starting to become a factor if you're down 3+ touchdowns here. And Kearns to the air. Over the middle, picked off. And return to the 32-yard line. Standing there was Fernando Edwards, and he got his pick that time.
He sure did. He was right where he was supposed to be, kind of hiding back there. When the ball came loose, remember the one he didn't get a while ago?
Right.
He made up for it right there. He was going to make sure of that one. You'll see Kearns kind of roll toward his right, look downfield, but he doesn't see Edwards, and Fernando says, "You look marvelous."
That football looked marvelous in my hands.
There you go.
He
So
says,
now we're just trading the ball back and forth.
You know, once Fernando says, "Man, we've been on the field too much. I want to go rest, so I'm going to do something about this," and that's what he did. He picked it off. Get them offensive guys out there. Here's Lee. Thought about the pitch, and he's going to carry it. Takes a pretty good pop, and still carries, folks, and a flag. May have been a face mask on the tackle, and that will be tacked on at the point of tackle, which was the 24-yard line.
I think, Randy, I don't think Josh ever intended to pitch that. I think he just looked over there, as you see the face mask call, to try and make a defender move that way. It's like a no-look, no-pass deal in basketball. You just turn your head to make them think. Watch. I don't think he ever wanted to pitch that. He just wanted to make somebody move. And right there, you saw him grab his face mask.
Josh's work, it's a very quiet 400 yards during the regular season that he rushed for, and that's not bad for a quarterback, considering the likes of Carter and Caldwell and King and Brown and Lipscomb and all those guys in the backfield.
He doesn't run that much, Randy, but he always seems to do it at the right moment, and when you have to have some yardage, he gets it for you.
1st and 10, and checking in, and inside the 5-yard line goes Romaine Johnson.
Well, again, we talked about the luxury. Roman, we had the luxury of, I got 243s,
Yeah.
so which one is it?
It's Rock Johnson.
All right,
He's the
the
running
Rock.
back. Yeah, the Rock. Do you know what the Rock is cooking?
We got to see him, I think it was, the South Moran game where we got to see him a little bit, and we even had a caller on Headliners asking about him earlier.
Yes, and we didn't have that call this week, so they must have knew something.
Now, they'll wait till next week, and I guarantee you somebody's going to call and say, "How many carries is Rock going to get this week?"
Well, Rock got 1 there, and he got about 9, he got 10 yards.
Yep, just exactly 10.
Pretty good average for Rock right now.
But what a luxury it is for Kannapolis. They just keep bringing fresh legs into the backfield on you. And now a little bit of confusion back there.
Lee saying, "What's going on?" He and Chad Tuttle, the offensive lineman, number 62, are looking over on the sidelines, talking to Johnson. He says, "I'm going to give you the ball. I want you to do what all good running backs do, take it to the house." And here he goes.
Did he get there? Yes.
Touchdown, Johnson and the Wonders.
The Rock is back.
He's defending
And
his...
remember, that's what I remember about him. He was so enthusiastic and having a lot of fun out there, and he just shows it.
He is 5'11", 220-pound sophomore. And he netted 13 yards there and about 2 carries. That's pretty good average. Now Fox to hole for Henry. And this one straight and across. Not too high, but it counts nonetheless. The Wonders appear on their way to the 2nd round of the playoffs. They lead it 42-10 with 4:55 to go in the 3rd period.
Thank you for watching Time Warner Cable's Metro Channel 7.
Well, the Wonders, I guess, come out here in the 2nd half and said, let's take care of business and don't make this one an iffy situation here, and that they have done.
Well, when you got your foot on a team's neck, you don't let it up.
All right, now a good return out to the 32-yard line for Fred T. Foard, and that was Ian Martin. He's done a great job tonight on the returns.
And how deja vu is this, Randy? Last time these two teams met in 1998 in the 1st round of the playoffs, the score was 42-18. Now it's 42-10, but we still got a long time to go.
You're talking about up from the JV squad was Johnson, and everybody's going to get to play tonight if this one continues at the pace it has gone. Wonders that led 28-10 at halftime. Quick toss this time. Shuford gets by the initial wave and then goes down the sidelines. Good run for Shuford. Bumped out of bounds.
Hit him out of bounds.
There's the late flag. Tack on 15 more from about the 47-yard line.
And you talked earlier about the coaches wanting to have something to talk to the players about. This kind of thing will be it, Randy, because
well, wait a minute. It looks like it might be going against Foard.
Well, they sure hit him out of bounds. This might be offsetting, but you sure don't want to give a team a chance to do anything here. You got them down by 32 points. Don't give them anything.
Mr. Maskey will come over. Personal foul against the Wonders. Okay.
He may have jumped up and said something later. Let's see.
And he's conferring with all the guys, the umpire.
They're trying to find the spot to mark the penalty from. Take a look at it again. Coming around the end and almost a clip there. Good blocking upfield. Lipscomb can't catch him. And then they hit him twice after that. And are they still conversing? Yeah, they are. They're coming back the other way. So it must have been offsetting penalties.
Here we go, the call. Unsportsmanlike against the Wonders. And
well, they already called the personal foul for the hit out of bounds. Well, now, why did they go all the way back toward the line of scrimmage to mark it off? Because the unsportsmanlike.
He didn't give a call against, obviously there was a call against Fred T. Foard in there somewhere.
Yeah, but he didn't signal at that time, because I was going to say he ran the ball downfield further than that.
Well, we're back where we started. It had to be offsetting. There was a late. Well, they had to offset. They had to be personal fouls.
He may have signaled one the wrong way.
Yeah, that's the only thing it could be, because the ball's at the point of tackle, which was the 47-yard line. After all is said and done, we're back where we started. 1st and 10. Quick toss, short side. Shuford again, and he slipped on the turf, looked like. Of course, 31 was coming in, Edwards, in a hurry. And
the Wonders had that one sealed up pretty good.
Nowhere to go. Lost back to the 50-yard line. Don't forget, headliners next week. We know we will have, if things hold true, Brown will be still alive in the hunt.
And then the Wonders, unless something really strange happens, will take on either South Point or Concord next week. If it's South Point, they've got to go to Belmont. If it's Concord, they'll stay here.
Yeah, Belmont's not a bad little trip there. It's the road trips are to follow, the big ones. Here we go, back to midfield, 2nd down and 12. The eye. Fullback. Back to the line of scrimmage plus a yard. And that's going to be about it. Lipscomb over there along with D'Angelo Cobbins and Lee Basinger.
Even though there's a whole quarter and then another 3.5 or so minutes to go, Randy, you saw that one long run that the Tigers had there, but other than that, they had the one pass play in the first half, but they haven't really been able to break off big chunks of yardage, and that is what will prevent them from doing anything to get back in this game quickly. They've got to grind it out, and that just takes too much time.
Kearns.
Yeah, they all moved on the left side there.
It's a classic battle with the tortoise and the hare. Right now, the bunny rabbit's winning.
Yeah, and still running.
I think he's got those Energizer batteries in, especially in the back. They stuck it in the jersey of number 16 before the game tonight. That and Jason Brown and a few other ones. As you see the sidelines of Fred T. Foard.
Coach Gorey over there wondering what he's got to do to beat Kannapolis or not draw them in the first round anymore.
Well, realignment should take care of that next year. Back to the 49, 3rd and 13. Play fake, and here's under pressure over the middle. He's got a receiver out of the backfield. They'll have enough for the sticks. And then some. Making the catch was Nathaniel Matthews. And there's a late flag down at about the 30-yard line of Kannapolis.
And let's see what this one's going to be all about. It might be another one of those out-of-bounds situations. Or more gum flapping.
Here's the call. There's a
clip. Whoa, missed it twice.
Bring it back.
Yep. And what a fine job Kearns does. Because watch, there's Basinger coming right down his throat. Oh, man, they butted helmets.
They are hitting out there. I tell you, I'm glad we're in the press box. It hurts up here, but clipping the call back to midfield with the penalty. Almost kind of like a do-over.
Except this do-over will make it 3rd and long for Foard. And now another flag goes flying, and I think that may have been Coach Gorey saying something.
A little frustration starting to come out here at the 3-minute mark of the 3rd period. Yeah, that's against the bench.
Yep.
One more, and
I think he's asking for a timeout.
Yeah.
They want to talk about it and regroup. The official was standing right in front of him and tossed the flag.
We'll take a break as well.
And he's going to come over and talk to the refs.
Well, it's 3rd and 27 as we come back to Memorial Stadium. There's the distance. They need to get to the 38-yard line. They're going to do it on this play.
Ain't going to make it.
The kitchen sink, the refrigerator, the freezer, and Lee Basinger to add a few insults to injury there.
As our old pal Willie Patrick used to say, and everything too.
And everything too.
Point out. Now, Coach Gorey spent that whole time out talking to the officials out on the field. He didn't go talk to his team. He let his assistants do that. He spent that whole time out getting in the ear of the officials.
Well, one more little yellow flag tossed over there, and he'll have to, I guess, come up here and watch the rest of it with us. Boy, that one almost blocked. I got pretty close. Jason Brown will get away from it. It just kind of...
Oh, look at that. All over the place.
Flags flying.
How obvious.
This is getting ugly right now, and the frustration coming out.
Look at that. It's littered with flags.
And the Kannapolis fans obviously on their feet.
Well, you heard them all just roar.
Man, oh man. Well, we'll sort this one out. It's getting ugly right now.
Yeah, a lot of frustration coming out, and now they're going to go out and talk to the officials again and say, what's up with this? There's Jeremy Ryan out there, and Buddy Amerson's out there.
And they're bringing their players over to the sidelines. Of course, Fred T. Ford's over on their sidelines. The coaching staff's going to take over and kind of take charge, and Jimmy Maskey is not going to have any part of this. Here's the call. Personal foul against Fred T. Foard. Tell you what, ejection's going to be coming up next.
Yeah, it's getting to that point where the officials are going to have to get on top of it and start sending some guys out. And now Coach Gorey is talking to his bunch and saying, look, guys, let's get out of here with a little class. We've still got a whole quarter to go.
Yeah, that's the scary part. 2:03 left in the 3rd period.
And this is the kind of stuff where you worry about somebody getting hurt.
Exactly, injuries.
Let's take a look at it again and see if we can pick up something before all the flags go swirling through the air.
There he makes the call, and they're going to go the other way. You know, as far as they had to go for the first down, it might take them that long to step the penalties off here.
It's going to be wonder ball inside Fred T. Foard territory again. Excellent field position.
They're not through penalizing them yet, I don't believe.
So they're going to get 2 of them?
Well, they look like they were going to do it, but let's look at the replay and see if we can.
Yeah, now watch this. It's going to happen right about midfield. It's right back here where it starts, and right there they start scrapping. You can see right at the extreme right of your picture.
Use his helmet.
It got worse after that.
Used your helmet. You can't use that as a weapon. You can tell it dig right to the back.
And then they started shoving and pushing even more than that after the play.
Well, as they sort it out, the Wonder offense back on the field, and they will set up at the 45-yard line of Fred T. Foard, as that woke everybody up, as if we weren't awake already. Josh Lee in a tight formation for the Wonders this time. Nobody wide. They'll break one man in motion, and the quick pitch this time, spinning, making a good move is Duran Standback. Got to see last week in the Bell game, and he'll go down to about the 36, a little shy of the first down. So a lot of new faces in for Coach Massey here on offense.
Pitch a little bit behind him that time, but Standback did a good job of gathering it in and makes a nice run out of it. Makes one miss, and then finally goes down.
There he is, number 19. The 5'5", 146-pound junior. They give it to Caldwell, and he's got a hole, and
He slipped.
I'm not sure if he slipped. May have tripped over one of the offensive linemen. Matt Jordan was there leading the way, and I believe he caught Matt's leg as he went to make the cut upfield.
Looked like there was a little bit of confusion on that. It almost looked like Lee was looking for him to go to the outside of him, and he came to the inside, and they had to adjust.
It'll be enough to move the sticks, so the Wonders with a first down at the 33-yard line of the Tigers. Caldwell's on the wing, and they'll give it to number 43, and he booms his way. Rock Johnson, who's already scored a touchdown. Rock's going to get the ball out of the pile and keep on going, wasn't he?
He said, "You guys stay here and fight. I'm getting out."
Every man for himself.
This is the Rock, and I'm out. Oh, he's a lot of fun.
The Rock, don't you know he takes a lot of kids?
Oh, man, yeah, but he has a big time out there, you can tell.
Great football name.
Oh, man, you got to be a football player.
Here's Lee on the keeper. Cuts it up. Spinning will have the first down to the 21-yard line. Under control.
And Rock got to go out there and hit somebody that time.
Rock was the Rock that time.
What a great, watch 43 right here, finding somebody to hit and get him out of the way for his quarterback. But Josh Lee, as we mentioned, big, strong kid, former linebacker. He's not going to run by you, but he's going to make smart decisions, pick the right hole, and get you some positive yards.
Inside. Now, 10 seconds to go in the third period. And Annapolis trying to get another playoff here before the period comes to an end. They better hurry. 5 seconds, 4, 3. Don't think they're going to do it.
Nope.
That'll do it. It was 28-10 at halftime. Wonders tacking on a couple of more. They lead it 42-10 as we go to the fourth period. Back for the first play of the fourth period. Wonders operate first down and 10 at the Tiger 22-yard line. Quick toss this time. New man into the backfield, and that is Galarza. And I'm not sure where they're going to spot the forward progress. Maybe down near the 14-yard line.
Well, they say that he stayed in bounds to keep the clock running. Galarza, 6 foot, 170-pound freshman.
Must be a pretty good one. Not too many freshmen on this roster.
Well, they called up a few.
An undefeated season for the JV, so the cover didn't bear.
Yeah, there's got to be some good ones to pick from if they went undefeated.
Second down. Here's Lee, keeps it, options out, and a nice decision, and into the end zone. Touchdown goes Duran. Stand back.
Wait a minute. Okay, he got it. Something looked kind of bizarre at the end of that one.
I think they were waiting on the cannon to go off there, you know.
Maybe they were all kind of hunkering down until the cannonball flew past and then they could get up.
Like I said, it's been a weird week. So Stanback gets into the scoring act, and the 5'5 junior. Seems like they've had a Stanback that's always been a pretty good football player over the last 30 years here at Brown.
Well, we'll probably start seeing wholesale substitutions now, especially for the Wonders.
David Henry is doing the job tonight in the absence of the injured Roger Rollins, and he's been perfect. 49-10. We have 11:14 to go. It's wholesale substitution time now if you're the Hale Brown coaching staff, because the Wonders obviously will survive and move on to round number 2 next week. It appears to be on the road if things hold true. At the 9-yard line. On the return is Martin, who's nearly broke one early in the game, and now he's getting to the outside. That's pretty much the same groove that he used in the first half, and we'll get it across midfield. Look like Romaine Johnson.
Either he or Rock, they're both wearing 43. There are 2 43s.
We'll give it to Johnson.
You can't go wrong there.
No. Well, that's when things settled down here. I was sitting here looking here at the timeout. First time I've noticed this year. Josh Lee, obviously the senior quarterback, kind of the general in the field. They've got a General Lee flag down there, number 12. Guys, he's got his own fan club down there waving it. Martin looking and cuts it inside to about the 44-yard line of the Wonders.
Well, Randy, Kannapolis just jumped out early with all those big plays in the first half, and it looks like they're getting the backup ready.
That's Drew Mahar. He's the 6'1 sophomore quarterback. So is he going to be the heir apparent next year, or will it fall into the hands of Mr.
Maurice Edwards has been the backup, but they may want to get a look at the youngster from the JV team.
You never know what can happen. Walton busting for about a yard, maybe.
But Kannapolis just scored on so many big plays in the first half and got such a big snowball of momentum going early in the game, and Fred T. Foard has just never been able to recover.
McClure there with a nice game tonight, number 11. As the clock now ticks under 10 minutes to go in the contest, it's 3rd and 5.
Did Florida State show up?
I believe so. They're practicing, aren't they? And Walton gonna be, boy, that third effort. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green shirts finally put him on the ground, led by Emmanuel Pinkett.
Well,
and that'll be enough for the first down.
Danielle Brown came running up there ready to make the tackle, and I mean, he just bounced off of him like a BB. Watch this. At the end of this play, I got him, coach, I got him. Pow! No, you don't.
Tell you what, knee pads there for Pinkett. He was being drugged. He says, come on, guys. He's waiting on help.
There just hasn't been enough of that tonight from Fred T. Foard.
Ball is loose, and doing the smart thing is Martin he got the kind bounce. He says, I'm going to take it. I'm going to follow it.
He tried a couple of times to pick it up and then realized he better just cover it up. And really everything has gone wrong tonight for the Fred T. Foard bunch and Coach Alan Gorey, who's a North Carolina graduate.
89 grad. I wonder if he played any football up there.
Well, he kept the same colors.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the same color of Burns High School. I called him Burns in the first half, I think. That's kind of more of a Columbia blue, looks like. Let's see. Here's Kearns trying to outrun everybody to the corner, and now lowers the shoulder, and boom, right at the 30-yard line, out of bounds.
Pretty nice run. He had a long way to go that time and got to the corner and was able to make a nice play out of it.
Yeah, he's a tough young man. He's a senior. There you were saying what Fred T. Foard said, what do we got to do to beat these guys in the playoffs? Well, the realignment takes care of a lot of that next year. They may not be. A lot of seniors on this Tiger team. So they're going to lose a lot of experience, especially in the backfield.
But the thing about it, we talked with the Kannapolis coaches about being able to call up a lot of the JV players and win a couple of games in the playoffs. It just helps you keep momentum going in your program. Look at Lipscomb.
He's in there. He's got the ball. He's teaching some of these understudy guys how to do it.
Well, we talked with some of the coaches, and Buddy Emerson was telling us that, if you get 3, 4, 5 games in the playoffs, well, that turns into half a year of extra practices you get with your JV team that they get to come up and work with the high school, the varsity. And then next year, they've got that under their belts instead of coming in cold. And it just keeps the momentum going for that guy.
Ron Massey on your left, on the right, longtime assistant defensive coordinator Mike Lambuth, who was
They moved.
Mike decided to hang it up a couple of years ago. I talked to him last week. He says, "Man, I enjoy it." He says, "I don't get nearly as nervous on Friday nights. I still get excited, but he's not throwing them in the dirt anymore."
So that's going to back him up 5.
7:51 to go. As the Wonders will advance next week to round 2. You got to beat them all. Whether they're on the road, whether they're at home, whether they're seated higher or lower than you. And you have to have a little luck, too.
Well, Kannapolis is probably 3 points away from being the number 1 seed.
One play.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. A fluke, what do you call it, onside kick. That was the difference in the conference championship this year.
So they pick it up on 4th down to keep the drive alive, but 7.5 minutes to go and down by 39. It's going to take a lot of fireworks to even get anybody stirred up.
Kearns to the air, backside pressure. Lipscomb with the pressure and the sack. You're not going to outrun that man.
He is so fast, Randy, and you knew Kearns was doomed when Durant got to run 3, 4, 5 steps before Kearns ever saw him. And by that time, it's too late. Watch. See if you can tell when Kearns realizes he's there. Now he does, but it's too late.
The man in the backfield, Martin, just missed the block. He was supposed to pick up Lipscomb, but Durant was behind before he had a chance to go out of his set.
You know, you got to give a lot of credit to the Kannapolis defensive coaches led by Aubrey Holofield, who came over from Kings Mountain with Ron Massey. A lot of times tonight, Randy, it's almost seemed like Kannapolis has known what play the Tigers were going to use, and they were all over it.
Quick toss to Martin, short side of the field, and that has worked effectively tonight. Look at him drive, folks. I think he stepped out of bounds upfield, though. Fernando Edwards, who's had a good game tonight for the Wanderers. He had been injured in the middle part of the season, came back and down the stretch run against Northwest Concord, put together some pretty good games.
And only a junior, so he'll be back next year.
It'll bring up 3rd down. They say he went out of bounds at about the Wonder 27-yard line. 6:15 left in the ball game. Kearns, pressure, gets away from one man. They give chase, but the second guy will get him. That's Pinkett. Pinkett, the 5'8" junior linebacker. We'll have headliners for you next Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
I think that's pretty much certain now.
I believe we can pretty much guess on that, or bet on that.
Taking your phone calls, and then next week, Kannapolis will play the South Point Concord winner.
And if it's Concord, they'll be back here at Memorial Stadium. If not, we'll make the trip down I-85 over to Belmont. And, of course, South Point, the #1 seeded team in the West.
Now, their only blemish on the record was an early season tie with Gastonia Ashbrook.
That's not a blemish. That should be a little check mark saying, good going. Ashbrook, not a bad team. Here's Kearns going zone. And this one tipped away. Incomplete. Down at about the 2-yard line. It was Terry Cobbins who came back and played center field that time.
The intended receiver there in your picture was T.J. Seyfried, 160-pound sophomore.
So we'll go over on downs and the Wanderers offense. And we will get a chance to see Drew Mahar, the JV quarterback, the sophomore. He'll be in this series along with our man Rock also. So Kannapolis going to try to, well, you can't tell these kids to get out here and just take a knee. They're trying to get some experience.
And they want to show the coaches what they can do.
Quick toss around the left side. Here's Maurice Edwards. He's showing us a lot of what he can do. Out to midfield. Junior Lee knocked him out of bounds.
Boy, and he had about 2 more steps to go to be able to get by everybody.
Edwards going over there in the huddle. He says,
look at him smiling.
I think he talked to the coaches into giving me the ball one time. Let me show you what I can do, coach. And, well, they'll put that one in the files. Maurice will stay on the sideline. See, I told you. I knew I could do it all along. Just over the Wonder 48-yard line. Mahar. Well, they missed the exchange to the fullback, and Mahar has found himself in a sea of white and blue shirts.
That didn't work at all, and he just knew he was going to have to take one for the team there.
Don't you know that he has had...
well, evidently it's official now.
Okay, we just found out it'll be on the road in Belmont. Kannapolis and South Point. That'll be the #1 seed against the #8 seed. But it'll be a great football game. Quick toss. Galarza. Some room. First down, yes. Flag down also.
This one might be coming back because it was thrown at about the 45, right at the point of attack, and it's a hole against the Wonders.
Boy, Lars is that's another great football name, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
5:11 left. Belmont South Point had a great team last year and went out early in the playoffs with an upset.
Well, that's why a lot of the coaches say, you know, if you get past this first one, you have some momentum.
Back it up to the Wonder 45-yard line with a penalty, second and 14. Nothing there up the middle. It just, there's a late flag.
A bunch of them.
Some of these are more fluorescent covered than I ever seen.
Or they're bigger or something. They just sail.
Computer enhanced or something. I don't know. Maybe it's the graphics.
Face mask against Fred T. Foard.
Can't do that.
When it's not going your way, it's not going your way, and they are having a tough time tonight.
Fred T. Foard with a fine season nonetheless. A conference that includes Mooresville, which the rankings were out this week. You had Mooresville number 3 in the state. West Rowan out of the SBC is number 8. Jamestown Ragsdale's number 7. Next week it'll be the number 2 and ranked teams in North Carolina in the second round of the playoffs. 2 against 3. Now, couldn't ask for much.
No, that's definitely going to be one of the marquee games in the state. Waiting for an equipment problem now. One of the Foard players adjusting his helmet, and now Van Proctor's got it situated properly, and we're about to get underway.
Wonders first down and 10 at the Fred T. Foard 40-yard line. Mahar pass tipped at the line of scrimmage.
And it's a good thing because none of the guys he was thrown in the direction of ever looked.
We're looking for it, yeah.
They never turned.
Jonathan Peoples, I think, was who he was trying to hit, but he just kept on running. And that's why you get these guys in here, get a little experience, let them make those mistakes, and maybe miss the play.
Well, after doing this, they'll know what kind of level you have to be at to compete when they come back next year.
Tight formation. And it'll be Gavarza. He's knowing what to do with the football. Look at here. First down to the 25-yard line. Justin is running it pretty good.
And give some credit, Randy, to Antwain Norris, the 6'3", 250-pound junior. Number 77 made a great block on the right side there. Watch 77 out here. Right there. His man's on the ground.
And Galarza picks up about 15 yards. He's only a freshman. First and 10, nearing the 4-minute mark of the ballgame. They fake the blitz and come back with a little cross buck, bouncing out, trying to get outside. There's the stiff arm. He's used all of his lifelines. He's out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Is Jonathan Peoples.
It looked like he was going to go down a couple of times, but he just kept bouncing off and kept fighting.
I think he had the audience poll left. He ran out of bounds.
Finally, nowhere else to go.
24-yard line is where they'll give him progress. They've only got one receiver. He splits to the top of your screen. That's Robert Clark. Quick toss. Galarza. And they all sling him out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. He was looking to cut back, and they struck it out pretty good.
There's Coach Massey, and hopefully they won't douse him with water tonight because it's liable to freeze on him if they do.
And he's just getting over that laryngitis bout last week anyway.
Yeah. And he's got his team peaking at the right time. Steve Gant talked in the pregame show with Coach Alan Gorey about his team peaking at the right time, but the Wonders are definitely hitting on all cylinders here at the right time of the year.
Third down and 5. They try the fullback, and he's banged and lost a yard. There was Travis Evans on the tackle. There you see him, number 82. Well, Coach Massey talking about we get to the playoffs, all the pressure is off of us. Now we're going to have fun. Well, they must have had a ball tonight.
Yeah, they will have a lot of memories from this game.
49-10. They led it 28-10 at halftime. And That touchdown they relinquished was 4th and about 2 inches. And he just barely got in, so almost a great goal line stand, or the defense would have not given up a touchdown at all. As the timeout called with 3:28 left in the 4th period. Mahar looking to the sidelines for the play.
And now the clock's going.
He said, how much time we got here? Okay, the play clock is running, so they're just taking their time. 4th and 4.
They're just going to wait and turn it over, looks like, maybe.
Why not? You got to run a play. 4th and 4. They wanted to take some time off the clock. Will be penalized.
They're gonna wait and let it tick down to 1 second and call a timeout.
And will we get the punt team or the field goal unit? I see Charlie Fox, who's normally the holder on the extra points. And let's see if 27 David Henry is in there.
I saw him out there. I think he's in that huddle.
Now keep in mind, Henry filling in for the injured Rush Robbins, who had been their kicker.
Yep.
So they're going to try a field goal.
About a 37, 38 yarder.
David Henry has come in the last 2 weeks. And counting this week, he has not missed an extra point attempt. And this is what they call game situation. You got
let him get some work at it.
Yeah. And a pretty good angle straight away. David, the 6 foot, 142-pound senior. But this would be a big old smile on his face.
And they didn't have enough people out there, and they turned to the sidelines, and quickly John Hyatt, the freshman, comes charging out there.
Got to get your peeps out there.
Yep, got to have them all ready to go.
Okay.
Well, now Fred T. Foard runs another one on. I think we're ready.
All the personnel are in place here.
Somebody counted.
37-yard attempt. Kick is up. And hit the crossbar. Oh, bless his heart.
Not quite enough.
David had a big old smile on his face anyway. It was that was a good try.
Yeah, it just needed a little more elevation.
Darn it, if those goalposts weren't so high, it could have been 6 foot 6 inches lower. Big soccer player for his last 4 years. So he's used to kicking that round ball. It reacts differently when somebody's holding it and put it on a tee. Get a little experience there. So taking over at the 20-yard line will be the Tigers with a new quarterback in, and his name is Van Proctor. They'll keep it on the ground.
And Proctor's been running kicks back tonight, but now comes in to finish the game at quarterback.
Walton, who was in there, will end his high school career, and boy, that young man's going to play at another level. And if not, some of the coaches got to be blind. They don't recruit this kid.
Well, Kearns will finish his career. Shuford, Deion Thompson, the offensive lineman, one of the captains.
I'm sure the Water defense is probably glad to see Walt graduate as well next year. And he's got it. Look at him, just break tackles. They finally sling him to the ground at about the 37-yard line. It'll be enough for a Tiger first down.
Well, he wants to have something positive to remember his last game about, so he's running hard here to finish this one up.
2 minutes, 10 seconds to go. The clock will stop as they move the chains. Now it's running again. The Wonders winning it convincingly tonight. They'll go on the road in round 2 next week to take on South Point at Belmont. There's the whistle. I was wondering.
I was going to say, this is going on for a while.
I think what you do, you have to have at least 9 bodies in a 6-foot circle. In other words,
Easily that many.
And to make sure that guy can't escape.
On that last play, Randy, Jarrell Walton got to throw a big block on somebody, and he used it to take out a little frustration.
From the 39-yard line, Walton up the gut. Man! The good, strong runners get stronger as the game progresses. That'll be a first down.
And watch him just lower his head and run over guys here. Bang, bang. And some of these JV guys getting called up here for Kannapolis are finding out big old seniors
Know what they're talking about.
take a lot of work to get them down.
Inside a minute to go in the game. Martin puts it on the ground. It's still loose, and let's see. I believe Kannapolis may have gotten it.
I think you're right. Whoever got it almost turned over on his head down there.
And Kannapolis did recover.
Let's see who comes up with it, because he was standing on his head for a minute there. Was it 66? I think it was. Alex Steele may have come up with it. And you know these cheerleaders are thinking, I'm glad we don't do push-ups here when they score.
Everybody be in shape tonight.
Alex Steele, when he got that ball, just about flipped completely over trying to stop and grab the ball.
So let me over here. Oh, Kannapolis didn't run over him tonight. They ran by him.
Yep.
77-yard touchdown run by Carter, a 72-yard touchdown pass from Lee to Carter, a 93-yard kickoff return by Jason Brown. That's just a couple of highlights. And taking a knee will be Mahar. They may not have to run another play, just depending on when they spot it. We will talk to Coach Massey at the conclusion of our game and get his thoughts about this one. Obviously, the coaching staff, as Woody always said, will find something to talk about and work on in practice, but they will face the #1 seed next week on the road over in Belmont, South Point, which is a pretty good ball team. They're 10-0-1 now. Kannapolis' record will go to 11-1. #2 and #3 ranked respectively in the state of North Carolina. And that'll do it. That'll be your ball game. Final score tonight: the Wonders win it convincingly, 49-10 over the Fred T. Foard Tigers. Back with some post-game comments after this.
Time Warner Cable's Metro Channel 7, committed to great community programming.
Wonders win it tonight, going away 49-10 in the first round of the State 3A High School playoffs. And let's go field side. Here's Woody King.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Well, Coach Massey, you were telling Steve before the game you kind of hoped it turned into a track meet, and that's exactly what you got on your end.
Well, we did. First half, I think the difference was we just make some athletic plays, and I didn't think we executed well. We made some plays, but there were some things I just didn't, we weren't playing like we had the last couple of weeks. And that's hard because you come off 2 emotional games, and it's hard to do that. But I really thought we picked it up in the second half. Again, Josh Carter continues to improve. Offensive line open holes when we had to. Chris made some big plays early. We got some things going early. We got the fumble by the defense, and then I thought the defense played a lot better in the second half, shutting them down.
Were you concerned in the first half because your offense seemed to be scoring so quickly that your defense was spending a lot of time on the field?
Well, yeah, but that's the type of offense they have. They're ball control, and they want they want to move the ball and control it, and we were afraid of that. But again, we feel like we got big play potential offensively, and fortunately tonight we were able to do that in the first half.
And now you look a little bit ahead, and I'm sure you probably heard by now that South Point won their game, so you look ahead to a team that's the #1 seed on the road.
Yeah, that's great, because that's it's going to be a great challenge for us. Especially we got to go over there and play in a place that they'll be a packed house, and I think people in for a treat next week. Really do.
I think they will be too. Coach, congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back upstairs to Randy.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Woody. Let's take a look at some final numbers for you. There you see where you're looking at ball control versus big play offense, and look at that. But still, with Kannapolis of 400 yards total offense, you'll take that to the bank with some interest every week. Turnovers, obviously Fred T. Foard with 3 tonight, and the penalties, Fred T. Foard, no penalties in the first half, and they come on in the second half, 112, and a lot of those frustration calls, I guess, with the unsportsmanlike calls. Next week, of course, we will be on the road up to Belmont and South Point, number 1 seed against Kannapolis, the number 8 seed. And I hope you'll be with us. Be with us Wednesday night for Headliners, as we'll have all the action of A.L. Brown and their search for another state championship here in K-Town in the 3A high school football playoffs for 2000. For Woody King, Steve Gann, and the entire Metro 7 production staff, thank you so much for being with us.